Welcome to the Thought Brothers. I'm Gary Johnson. Hey, we got Marcus Devine here, music director, producer. He's got a new single out. He's going to talk to us about that. We got all the fellas in the house today. Last couple weeks, Mr. Spivey was on special assignment. Now CJ seems to be in some undisclosed location, but he got a guitar in his hand. So CJ, talk to us. You out there doing something with the group. So introduce yourself and let's kick it off.
Oh, what's up? So I'm CJ, a normal co-host here on the Thought Brothers, but like I said, I'm also in a band called the Cortland Experiment. We had a show at Artomatic DC last weekend at the art exhibit. We've got some shows coming up this weekend, so as you see, I'm here at rehearsal, but I absolutely couldn't miss this interview. I love these music interviews and really pick the minds of these great professionals. So really wanted to just get in a few questions here.
Dope.
Go.
So my first question is from a producer of your caliber. What is your opinion of the streaming industry, like the streaming model of music, and how it's changed from, actual record sales to streaming, and how the executives that seem to don't produce or create music seem to make most of the money off of music?
Well, that's funny. You jump in with the bang question right off the rip. So I don't do streaming sites at all as far as the music that I put out. Like right now, I just put out a single March 12th, and I only released it only on my website. And the reason I did that, I want to send all the traffic to me. After going on the stream, watching how the streaming thing go, you get 0.003 cents for every stream. That's not it, man. It takes so many streams to get a penny. You know what I mean? So, because if you got a million streams, you only get $3,000. That just doesn't make sense to me. I spend that in making a single, like, you know what I mean? Making a record. So I don't do the streaming sites. And then what I did with my record that I've never seen in the music business is it's really just what they call it, affiliate links. Like, so if you buy my single for $3.99, you get a link, you share my link. Anybody buy my single through your link, you make $1.20 every time somebody buy my single. You make literally more than somebody who put out a single themselves just for sharing my link. And the reason I did that is to take back the power from the streaming companies, because everybody run around and say, yo, I'm independent. And a lot of people don't know, if you put your song on Spotify, you're not independent. Universal and Sony and them is still getting your money. You don't understand. A lot of people don't know that. But you're not independent until you're selling these records yourself. So I hope the answer wasn't too long, because I could take an hour on that one. But yeah.
Oh, let me tell you what I got out of it. We're going to have a Marcus Devine affiliate link on our page. That's what we're going to have. Black Men in America affiliate link from Marcus. Yeah.
Yeah. And Gary, and what I'm doing too right now, up until the 1st of May, I'm giving away $500 to whoever sells the most singles through their link. So you get all the money that you make from selling the record, plus an extra $500 just for going hard for the record.
Man, don't get me excited like this, man. We got a financial guy. We got a financial analyst down there in Carlos. So he's chomping at the bit. But before we get too far in, and then we maybe get back to CJ real quick, let's tell people who you are, man, because not everybody knows about the behind the scenes thing, but you've been a music director and you work with a lot of people, man. So go ahead and just be shameless and name drop.
I'm going to start with Aaliyah, Charlie Wilson, Kelly Price, Teddy Pendergrass, Shirley Murdoch, Dave Hollister, Chico DeBarge, 112, Silk, Jagged Edge, Lloyd, Bobby V, Genuine, Ashanti, Pretty Ricky, Kerry Hilson. I could keep going, bro. It's
Destiny's
crazy.
Child. Didn't you do Destiny's Child?
Destiny's Child. Escape.
Yeah.
See, I be forgetting, bro. It be so many.
112?
Yeah, the 112, they start running together, man. So now I've had a dope life in this music game, man. No complaints.
Man.
Marcus, you left off one name, which is probably going to be real mad at you. And that's Beth.
Oh no! You hear me? I just said who, Beth? I already knew.
He recovered.
And Beth is gonna come after you.
Oh no. Hey, well, she would have got mentioned before this whole interview is over. That's family.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
All
hey,
right.
Mr. Devine, I wanted to just holler at him and say, hey, appreciate you, man, you coming on the show. And my favorite question to ask of any type of artist in any industry, man, what was your motivation to get into the music business, man? Break it down for me. How'd you get into all this?
Man, not wanting to be on the punishment, Carlos. My mom used to make me come in the house, man. I thought I was going to play basketball, bro. I thought I was going to be a professional basketball player. And my mom, I could be out there in the backyard, man, all my friends out there. And my mom would holler, Marcus, get in this house. I already knew what that meant, right? So I come in the house. She wouldn't say nothing. She'll just start singing. And whatever song she pick out, I bet me, my brother, and my sister better come in on the harmony notes. Or if we mess up, we get put on the punishment. So I can't go outside and play basketball no more. So fast forward, ninth grade, I'm like, man, I'm in school. They was like, Marcus, won't you be in the talent show? I'm like, okay. Man, I sung Jeffrey Osborne, on the Wings of Love, bro. Them girls went crazy. I said, oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. Like, oh, all the singers was like, oh, this is my new little boyfriend. Oh, and I'm short and they hugging me. So, the pillows is all in my face. And I'm like, oh, really? So I played ball until the 11th grade year, man. And on Christmas tournament, my coach called me like, Devine, where you at? We on the bus. I'm like, hey, coach, man, I quit, man. I want to sing. And he called me every word you could think of. He was so pissed off. But I mean, that was the best decision I ever made, man.
All right. I mean, I think that gets me started. I'll pass the mic, but I'll come back with some more. But I always want to find out how brothers got into their chosen field, and those sound like some real good reasons, man. You had some extra motivation there.
Yes, sir.
Do your thing, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I might have to ask you about Teddy Pendergrass because when I was a little kid, Teddy was just tearing it down, baby. He was tearing it down. So you said Jeffrey Osborne, he did his thing with the Wings of Love, but Teddy was just monster.
Yeah, when Teddy turned out the lights, he said, turn off. Get on.
He wasn't nice. Like everybody else be like swinging all sweet. Teddy like, oh, like whoa, like hey, he scared you and scared the panties down back in the day.
We got something coming up with Teddy, coming up with one of his next door neighbors. I'll talk about that later.
Oh, wow. No, but actually, I worked on a play with him, and I got a chance to produce him for the soundtrack. And he's funny, man. He's an old guy set in his ways. So we literally actually argued when we first started working. I'm the new young guy, so he didn't have a whole lot of trust in me. Oh, but by the time we got done working, I'm sorry, I apologize. So we ended up becoming real cool.
Yeah, because he used to working with that Gamble and Huff generation.
Relationship after that, huh?
Yeah. It was great, man. It was great after that.
All right.
Hey, CJ, I'm gonna get you in, and then we're gonna go over to Spivey because I know you're at rehearsal. What else you got?
Okay, yeah, I got one more before I get up out of here and get to my practice. But I did have another question. And since we were talking about your origins, I think it's a good transition to how would you describe how you made the transition from amateur to professional in terms of being a professional, producer, artist, musician, and what advice would you have for anybody trying to make that transition?
You said from amateur to professional. Not being scared to ask for a check, because that's the difference between being an amateur and professional. If you're getting a check to do it, you're a professional. You know what I mean? So, and when you first start out, I'll do this. You just eager to work with anybody and do whatever. But when you start realizing how valuable your time is, that transition was real quick, CJ. I transitioned into getting paid very early. Like you're like, oh no, if I'm spending my money on equipment and spending my money on, all this stuff, studio time. I ain't gonna try to drag this out, but my story is crazy to me. I used to literally rent a 4-track studio, bro, a 4-track recorder, $35 every month from the music store. That was my first studio. So if I got to pay that $35, you got to pay to come and record on it. So it easily changed my thought process of how this worked. So,
okay,
absolutely, yeah.
All right, Mr. Spivey, what you got?
And it was really interesting. I'm Marcus, they called me the researcher. And it was interesting in doing some research on you because I found that your mother was the one that started you by she was in a singing group, which I found interesting. And she would get stuff from the bass player. And then she would bring it home and teach you. So that was the way you basically got started. And then I think you used to perform in church. And it was interesting the transit. How did you go from that transition and just get into the music from the church stuff?
Well, I'm a big quartet head. I love quartet. Like no matter what I produce, no matter what, there's something about quartet music that I love. And one of the things is growing up in a quartet house, quartet singers, they sing everything. Like you go to a quartet program, you may hear Teddy Pendergrass. They're gonna change the word about God, but you're gonna hear every type of music at a quartet program. So that kind of molded me to be able to do any kind of thing. So even when I was doing R&B, it still had that churchy, it still has that churchy vibe a little bit to it. That soul, it helped me be able to tap into that soul part of it. And my mom coming home, man, teaching me, she the one who taught me how to play bass. So I had a bass with two strings on it, bro. And I literally would sit there and play all the commercials and all the theme songs of everything. And then she got me a bass that had 4. And it was, what I was doing on 2, it was heavy once I got those other 2 strings. So my mom, man, she definitely helped me transition. And then going from church to R&B, that quartet thing just made the transition real easy.
Well, one of the things that I guess this is a compliment to you. You got an advantage on most people because a lot of these young producers out here, they know nothing about quartet. And I heard you talk about the renting the track and having, they know nothing about this stuff. So you know a lot. You fortunate because you know a lot about old school. If I said something to you about a cassette tape, you probably know what I'm talking about.
My first project was printed up on one. Hey, I did all the artwork, everything myself. Took the picture and sat there and folded up those things. We used to buy blank cassettes back in the day. Like you could buy them blank with nothing on them. And just print out your own sticker, put your own sticker. And I'm talking about, I used to just go around selling those, man. So yeah, I tell everybody I'm blessed because I've actually worked on every format of recording, from 2-inch reels to ADATs to VS880s to Pro Tools. I've actually recorded on every format there is.
So basically, all of the recording stuff that you learned it basically on your own.
Yeah. And I went to YTU once that came out, which is YouTube University. Once that came out, you learned a lot of stuff on YTU.
I use YTU for anything that I do because it's on YouTube.
I tell everybody, most people on there, they went to school for what they know, and they're giving the knowledge away for nothing. So crazy not to go on there.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, Marcus, man.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Carlos.
I go and say, hey, Marcus, man, you talk about you quit the basketball team back in 11th grade, man. I'm looking at them Jordans behind you, brother. You got a nice little collection. What's going on back there?
No, man, there's a few pieces back there. Actually, most of them, like, normally they full, but I've been going in and out of town, and I haven't taken them all out the bags to put them back up there. So,
okay,
I do all right. I had to cut them down, though. I had too many pair, man. I gave away a whole bunch of them.
Okay, that means you living large, man. Things are working out. If you just giving away Jordans.
What's funny, Carlos? I've been like that my whole life, though.
Okay.
Like every year when I back in the day when I was younger, every season I would give away all my clothes and all of my shoes.
Good man.
And go back and buy new stuff. And every year I give it away. I don't know, man. I get off on just helping people and blessing people. One of my homies, every time he go live, he tell the story. I was in the studio working, and he was coming in to sing, him and his choir, and I had on these yellow and white Air Force Ones, bro. No, they were yellow and see-through. So whatever color sock I wore, that was the color of the shoe. So he was like, "Oh my God, those are so dope." I'm like, "You like them?" He said, yeah, man, I took them off my feet, gave them to him. I drove home with just my socks on. So I love, man, that's just me, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, look, I can relate to some nice shoes, man. My first job was at Foot Locker back in the day when I was in high school, man. So shoe game is a great game, but a lot of people didn't know that. Music, man. Still, you can't even have a nice ride if you can't have a nice tune playing in your ride while you're riding down the street.
That's right.
You work with all these performers. Where are you from originally?
I'm Detroit.
Okay, so Motown, still Motown,
Yeah,
and it's
born
still
and
Music
raised.
City, Okay, so I got you on that. So let me ask you this: you work with so many performers. I mean, who was the one that really made you? You said Teddy was a little bit difficult to work with at first, but then y'all became good friends. But who was the one that really challenged you the most? Like who really pushed you to become better? Not because they were just being a jerk, but who pushed you to really, be what you are today?
Ooh, that
Like the ooh, yeah.
Now and then the ooh is me. That's the real answer, and
There you go.
but not to leave it there. It would be Charlie Wilson because
Okay.
me and Charlie used to literally stay on the phone for hours. So I got all that knowledge every day. When my father passed, he called me every day for a whole month, like literally every day for a month or more, just to make sure I was okay.
That's cool.
So that would be the person that was, that's what I learned a lot from. A lot of things not to do, what not to fall for, because if you know Charlie's story, man, he done been through a whole lot.
Yeah,
man.
We featured him, man. He's been through a whole lot, and I noticed, man. I don't know if I should say this or not, but I watched The Masked Singer, and I'm really thinking, man, the ugly sweater is Uncle Charlie. I've dealt with him and his folks before, and I'm thinking,
if you know that voice, I can't say nothing, but if you know that voice.
I'm like, Uncle Charlie's he's the ugly sweater. So that's all I'm going to say. Yeah. My granddaughter and I, we watching that now.
Yeah, he can't hide that voice.
No, man. Hey, but you know what? Speaking of Charlie, man, you got a sunglass line. Ain't nobody going to outwork you. We got that. We got that already. Ain't nobody going to outwork you. Tell us about your sunglass line, because isn't Charlie one of your guys?
Yeah, he got them.
Yeah.
Him, Coco from SWV, Bobby Valentino, Aaron Hall, Teddy Riley, like all of them wear them. So what happened was I was on tour in 2019 and the pandemic stopped. No, 2019 is when I started the line. 2020, February, everything shut down.
Right.
And I had just started the line. And my wife, she was like, yo, what we going to do with everything shut down? I was like, nah. They said we could stop paying our mortgage, and then I said, no, because what's going to happen is they're going to let it pile up. It ain't like they're going to give us these months for free. I said, no, we're going to, and my sunglasses, bro, is what literally helped me maintain my life.
Wow.
I got married in 2020. So mind you, all that tour money, I lost. So it got canceled. I got a wedding plan. So that meant I lost all the money for the wedding. My sunglasses paid for my wedding. We never missed the mortgage payment. We lived like nothing was going on. Like everything was great because of these, man.
That's outstanding, man. That's outstanding.
And
it also, the lesson is also, you can't count this money and count on stuff that you don't have.
You sure can't. You sure can't.
Man.
Amen to that.
And you got that blessing because of the blessings you had passed off to people, just giving away stuff.
Yep.
It came back around, and you don't even know when it's going to come, but it came back right when you needed it.
You sound like my big brother, Mr. Spivey, because he said that all the time. He said, Marcus, you ain't going to never be without. And he just say it out of the blue sometimes. Like, you ain't going to never be without. I'm like, why? He said, because the way you do people. The way
ain't no greater feeling than giving. I mean, I know that.
None.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Me and my mom had hung out one day. We had went to dinner, and we were leaving. We went to the buffet at the casino, and when we were leaving, there was some homeless people sitting on the bench, like, and it's cold. And I said, "Stop the car!" And you can't say that to your mom. How mothers get those. She's super scared. She's like, "What?" I said, turn around, turn the car around. And I just got out the car and gave the people. And my mom just literally looked at me and just started crying. Because I don't ever talk about it to her or what I do. Because I could literally have a whole show on giving just because that's just what I do. And she started crying. She's like, but it made me teary-eyed to see how proud she was of her creation. You know what I mean? It was dope, man.
Man, tell us about this new single you got out.
The Greatest Show, man. That's my new single. I'm excited about this record. And people are seeming to love it. So, but I released it independently on my like I say, on my website, and it's doing great. The Greatest Show is just about the bed being your stage and you giving the best performance of your life.
So who are some of the other people who've influenced you?
Ooh,
living, dead, or alive?
Oh my God. Man, first of all, production, you can't even start production without talking about Quincy Jones.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely Quincy, but if you was to say who is Marcus Devine, like if you could add people together, Dave Hollister, production is Teddy Riley and Devontae Swing from Jodeci.
Wow.
That makes up to me with a dash, a few dashes of Rodney Jerkins.
Rodney, yeah.
That's Marcus Devine on the production side. Vocally would be Tank, Dave Hollister, and Joe. Those are my favorite influences. But you know, the Stevies, you can't be in this thing and be a male artist without Stevie and Donnie and everybody influencing you. You know, maybe not the so young guys, but yeah, all of those people, man, all of them.
Yeah, their body of work lives on. I saw Stevie Wonder like two years ago at the MGM, and he sang more songs that I had forgotten, man. He's like, I wrote this song for Aretha Franklin when I was 17. I did this when I'm like, whoa, I forgot all about his body of work, man.
Incredible.
Still
and he got
it.
songs that people have never heard. I bring them up. I'll be like, yo, you heard this song? They be like, no. And like, man. Stevie is incredible.
Carlos, what you got, bro?
Well, I mean, hey, look, I got to ask about this. Like you said, you explained about the financial aspect during the, COVID-19 2020 year and beyond. But look, what advice would you give to like a young artist coming up concerning finances? Because like we didn't dabble in it a little bit tonight. We didn't hit a couple points, but man, from being a 20-year-old artist to 25, 30, 35, 40, and we talking about guys who've been in the game forever, like Stevie Wonder. Man, financially, man, we hear some horror stories sometimes about people who have not made much money and the producers took the money and you know, this and that. So what's your outlook? What's your advice you would give to a young artist in the game concerning finances coming up?
Well, this is two-part. The first thing is we lose a lot of money because most of the time we get into business in a desperate state. You know what I mean? Where I need this deal or I need this to happen. So once we get the money, we spend it. You know what I mean? Most of us don't even have nobody to teach us financial literacy. You know what I mean? Our fathers may teach you how to go to work, get a job, and such and such. But the financial literacy part of it, of how to be smart with your money and how to do that, we already behind the 8 ball. So I would tell people, if you're going to get into business, don't wait till you start getting the money to get smart about the money. Get smart about the money now. So when you get it, because as soon as you get a lump sum, you want to go buy a 7-bedroom house that you really only occupy 2 rooms.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I've seen that. I had those dreams growing up. I've wasted a lot of money, you know, and because I'm speaking from experience, you know. I've had the cars and the whole. Now my thought process, I waited till I get this old, but not this old, but a little bit before this to say, oh, that ain't special. Because I tell everybody this: you can get a Rolls Royce and you can Carlos, and you can pull up to Gary house. Guess what? Gary only gonna go woo one time.
and that's it. That's it.
One time.
You get that once first impression, right? That's
it. He ain't. You can drive it over there the next day. He gonna be like, "Hey, what's up, Los?" You know what I mean? Like, and now you done spent all that money to impress him, and that's what we do. We go in the hole to impress. You know, so that's what I would tell people. Like, get smart about the money now. Don't wait till you get the money.
Appreciate that. That makes sense to me.
Putting all your money in cars in a depreciating asset.
As soon as you pull off
as soon as you drive off the lot.
As soon as you drive off. You could literally do a U-turn and they ain't gonna even give you what you paid for it. Back
literally.
When you pull back in.
Well, Mr. Spivey ought to know that because he
Hey, Mr. Spivey, come on, man.
Yeah.
You own a car lot? What's up?
I used to own a car business. It's really funny you mentioned that because the other day, my wife and I, we have an electric car. And we were traveling, coming back from South Carolina. We saw this Mercedes. And she said, "Oh, that's a pretty electric Mercedes." And so I told her, I said, jokingly, I said, riding down the road, dropping parts. That's what we used to say in the car business. And so we got home. I looked it up. It was 2023 Mercedes EQE 350, sold for $82,000. And I said to her, I said, "Look at this one. Had 3,000 miles on it, online, $63,000.
Wow.
Woo.
Yeah.
People just don't realize, you know, they throw money into depreciating items. If you ever get a chance, you can go back and look at one of our podcasts that we did on athletes who have gone broke.
Athletes gone broke.
I mean, it really blew my mind doing the research on it. Some of these guys made $300 million, and a couple of them were living on their parents' sofa, gone back to court asking for a reduction in child support, you know. And so, you know, I'm like you, but a lot of times if these young people just have their head on tight and start making that money, just like we said earlier, go to YouTube. You can go to YouTube. They got classes on how to manage your money. They got classes on using intuitive QuickBooks and that type of thing. So, you know, but a lot of times, you know, my mother used to say, there's two things that is impossible to have in life at the same time, and that's youth and wisdom. Wisdom comes with older age. She used to say, but I'm older and I can try to advise you. But if you don't listen, if you make your bed hard, you got to sleep in it.
That's good.
Hey, Marcus, what else we need to know to support you, man? Because we're going to push some traffic to your site.
I'm going by one of them $3.99 record, and I'm gonna start pushing it to you, Carlos, and everybody else I know, and make me some bank.
You got to get behind me because I'm already going to get the affiliate agreement on Black Men in America. We're going to be pushing that.
When my wife bought it, I bought my copy through her. Then I did that on purpose.
Smart man.
I did that on purpose because I wanted her to make that money.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's, but I want to do that in everything, like merchandise. And I want that to, I kind of would love for that to be the way we do everything as a people. Just say if y'all got something and we all push y'all and we can make money, but man, people gonna be upset, bro.
No, man, I do that a lot. I have a lot of affiliate agreements on Black Men in America and with apparel companies, and you know, I push them, they push us, and we just all support each other because check this out. I don't care what people think. There's enough room for everybody at the top.
Definitely.
There's enough room for everybody at the top.
There's a book for anybody who listening. There's a book called The Secret of Getting Rich. Not The Secret, but if you put in Google SOGR, which stands for The Secret of Getting Rich. This book changed my life. It took all anxiety out of my life. Money, I'm talking about financial anxiety that, you know, a lot of us have. I read this book. It's a 40-something page read. I read it in one night. It blew me away like that. And it just basically said what you just said. Everything that we'll ever need is already here. We already got it. But we live life. We even eat food like, oh my God, this is gonna be my last meal. So you eat it all up. You don't want to share. We do everything like that. So when you realize like, oh, I'm always be good, you can start chilling. You ain't never looking for money. You ain't never chasing money because money literally wants to be with you.
Man, we've been culturally conditioned to think a whole lot of different ways.
Man.
And like when you mentioned food, you know, we grew up, you know, eat everything on your plate. Eat this, eat that. Sometimes you got to say to Big Mama and Mama, I've had enough.
Like and everybody always be like, when you go to the doctor, this we probably have to do another show for this.
Okay.
But when you go to the doctor, man, they'll hit you with do your mama have sugar? Do your mama have diabetes? Do your mama have hypertension? Only so you could be conditioned to think that it's hereditary.
Yeah.
But the sickness is not hereditary. What's hereditary is the diet that's been passed down from your mama to you. Everybody using Big Mama's recipe for the greens and the ham hocks and all of that. That's what's hereditary. That's why, because if you take that same kid, take him out of their loop out of Big Mama house and let him go over there with his daddy that's eating a plant-based life or a more green life, I guarantee you he won't grow up with those same illnesses of that family.
And that's exactly what I meant by culturally conditioned, because you looking at a dude, I'm 60 pounds down, because at one point, man, me and Professor Sherman Clump were the same size.
No, listen, I lost 60 pounds since October.
Oh, you better than me then, bro.
Man.
You better than me.
Man.
It took me longer than that, you know.
Yeah, since October.
Oh, congratulations, man. Because once I found out, man, I was an emotional eater. I just had to change the way I live my life. I'm not on a diet. I just changed the way I live my life and portion control. So yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
Hey, Marcus, I want to ask you from a musical perspective too. We talking about, you know, being healthy and living right and eating right and all that good stuff. And you know, recently I saw a particular one of my favorite old school artists out on stage, but it looked like he was sweating a lot, man. And he used to tear the floor up. And now he's still doing. I ain't calling no names. Hey, I ain't calling no names. But he used to tear it up.
I like Bernie Mac.
My man got a handkerchief. He like wiping his face. And
looked like he needed an inhaler.
Boys are still going, but he looked like Ray Parker instead of Bobby Brown. He wasn't in that block.
I thought you won't call no names.
I'm not talking about Ghostbusters 2 with Bobby Brown. I'm talking about Ghostbusters 1 with Ray Parker Jr. That's what he's like. Talk to me, man. How important is it to eat right and be in shape, man, for this music career?
It's very important. I'm at the gym every day. I'm talking about when I say every day.
Wow.
Every day. Like I'm addicted. I never would have thought I would utter those words, but I'm addicted to working out every day. Wow. You know what I mean? But just in this business, not even on stage, but in this business, you got to think about it. As a producer, 85 to 90% of my day is sitting down.
Yeah.
So if I'm not doing anything and I'm eating, I'm working, I'm tracking, I'm eating, and I'm not getting no exercise. Only thing moving is my fingers. Everything else is still, my fingers are lean, but the rest of me is
no calorie burn there.
It's crazy. So you sit down the whole time, man, we got to change that. You know what I mean? And because the music is beautiful, but I tell people, music ain't going to never give you nothing. It ain't going to never give you what you're looking for. We chase this thing. That's why you got to get to a place of you being happy with yourself. And you'll find like 90% of the time, people in the studio all day to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And like, why it's not happening? Because you're not living. Some of the music becomes stale because you ain't went and took your woman out to dinner now one time and you trying to talk to a world full of people, a world full of women, and you don't even know how to talk to your wife. How the hell are you going to talk to a whole bunch of people and a whole bunch of women, and you don't even know how to say what to say to the one? You ain't spending time with the one you got. So you got to get out and live. And the only way to do that, you got to watch what you put in your mouth. You got to watch what you eat, or you won't be living. You know.
Wow.
So,
hey, Marcus, man, in closing out, man, tell us I mean, you've told us a lot of stuff. And like I said, we can do another show on the money aspect, on the health and wellness aspect. But as far as your music and your career, what else do we need to know to support you? Because we're going to be pushing this, you know. This is a great interview because it's more than just about the songs.
Yes, sir.
What do we need to do?
Just follow me at The Heat Miser, and that's DAHEATMIZER on Instagram and on Facebook.com/The Heat Miser. And then to get my single, go to www.marcusdevine.com, get the single, get that affiliate link, and get this money. So that's really this. Hey, that's everything right there.
All right, man, because you're gonna have it, because we're gonna have this up and running. So that is, man, I can't thank you enough, Marcus, for being on the show and helping us out here. Ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna hear more from Marcus Devine. We'll probably have to have him back. But we are the Thought Brothers, and we are out of here. Hang on, Marcus.
Take care, Marcus.
All right, good night, Marcus. Appreciate you, brother.
The greatest show on earth, greatest show on earth, and you won't believe just how I put in work, See, I don't need a rehearsal, this is what I do. My first act's an hour, and it's dedicated